situation, which is, at this hospital, one of the most difficult ones in terms of the workload. I've gotten to a point where, it's not that I don't care about patients, but that the fact that I care about patients becomes less important than the fact that I am absolutely strung out and absolutely can no longer think anymore.
I think the most overworked profession would be a physician, because even though you meet a lot of physicians who are really proud of their work, a lot of them suffer from burnout and are completely exhausted.
Maybe something in the healthcare field, like doctors or physicians.
Someone who's in the a medicine field, like physician.
Probably something in the healthcare field. I think dentists have the highest rate of suicide.
Nurse or physician?
Probably physicians.
Probably a psychologist. See some depressing stuff.
Probably surgeons, mostly due to Grey's Anatomy.
First year medical school is absolutely something that one cannot be emotionally prepared for. No matter how much you feel that you've reached some kind of equilibrium in your life, I think first year medical school will upset it.
There's no true way for pre-med students to know what medical school is going to be like until they actually experience it for themselves. But that doesn't mean they can't educate themselves to try to get the best understanding behind the medical process. This begins by taking a look into the misconceptions or stigmas pre-med students have about medical school and its implications.
I think that I chose to be pre-med because in high school I was really interested in biology and all of the sciences actually, and I came to Wake and took a lot of more biology classes and just realized that I'm really good at it, and why not major in something you're good at.
Good MCAT scores, which I'm definitely nervous for. But otherwise, I'm still learning more about the process and trying to figure out exactly what they're looking for, but currently I'm focusing predominantly on my grades.
For that answer for a while. I think I want to be a neurosurgeon because I don't think there's any greater pleasure than being able to tell a family after a successful operation that you've done everything in your power, that you've done your best and you've actually been able to help them and fix them.
Doctors, I think they've always expected me to become a doctor. I think they would definitely be disappointed if I pursued a career as a PA or as a nurse. They're definitely set on me becoming a doctor, specifically a surgeon, so there's a lot of expectations to live up to. And
the biggest misconception that I think entering Wake Forest students have is that if I just have an incredible GPA and an incredible MCAT score, then that's all it takes. That med school is all about the metrics, things that are easily measured, like your MCAT score and your GPA, and that couldn't be further from the truth. Also, I think students come in thinking that they have to be perfect. And by perfect, I mean not A's, B's, and C's, but all A's. And if they get a B in a course, then, or even a C, or even fail a course, then their med school journey is over. And that's not the case at all. Being a qualified candidate for med school is so much more than metrics. It's about your experience.
I'm going to make a ton of money as a doctor. And depending on what specialty you choose, that may be true. I think that just healthcare in general, and particularly physician salaries under the Affordable Care Act, and what ultimately may become a single-payer system in the United States, we're going to see physician salaries drop. And so
in the grand scheme of things, no. I'm just going to say no. I think I do, but I probably don't.
I really don't know anything about that. I definitely should know something about that since I'm going into the medical field, but no.
To be honest, I don't know that much about all of the details and the actual problems and the controversies.
Healthcare is an important issue to consider for this generation of upcoming physicians, as it will be impacting them directly.
Let's talk about the Affordable Care Act, also known as Obamacare, and what it means for you. Say you've got private health insurance already. Maybe you have it through your job or your parents. Obamacare means you get a host of new benefits and protections. For example, insurance companies are now required to cover women's wellness visits, mammograms, birth control for women, immunizations for kids, all without charging you a penny more. That means no extra copays or fees.
The frustrating part of my day is I have 2 employees that work nearly full-time fighting Medicare and other insurance carriers for work that I have done. I absolutely detest that part of my life. I never imagined that I would do work and then have to fight a third party to get paid for the work that I do.
Students who make their decision by assessing the wide variety of factors associated with the medical process are least likely to fall victim to early burnout and depression, as outlined by recent medical school graduate Retta Jaber, who also researches the implications of depression.
It's well known that med students and physicians have a higher rate of depression than the average population. This could be for a variety of reasons. For example, there could be a selection bias. Those who pursue medicine are typically high achievers and perfectionists. But another reason could be that once you start med school, it's very difficult to have a career change. And that's why it's so important that you only go to med school if you have the passion and you're sure this is what you want to do. Once you're in med school, most people start accumulating a lot of debt right away. And if you decide to drop out, there's very few career choices out there. So most people decide to stick it out, keep going, go on to residency. So I think it's possible that there are a number of people in this profession that might have gotten into it for the wrong reason, dislike it, but have decided to continue pursuing it as a career solely because they have no other choice.
So this year we've had over 13 events during the academic year that allowed students, whether they're interested in medicine or other health professions or think they're only interested in medicine, to come to events to learn from other people, like what does a PA do? What does an MD do? How is that different? What does a nurse practitioner do? And all I can do is make things available for students to come and learn.
If you want to be a doctor, it's a noble profession and a great profession, but it's not the only profession. And so I think students should be really open-minded about other things that they may find, very rewarding for themselves to do, but also as a rewarding way of serving others. That the grade point doesn't support a career in medicine, then there are many other great careers that are medical or not medical that can really lead to a very gratifying life.
It's about your experiences, so the kinds of things that you do in healthcare professions to get experience, volunteering, service to others, pushing yourself to have out of your comfort zone experiences, either in your everyday life or in service or study abroad. All of those components, those experiences, are an equal part to the metrics.
Physician depression and burnout are serious issues impacting the quality of healthcare. Pre-meds can take action now to understand the medical process and find certainty in their decision. Motivated medical students make for better doctors and hold a high promise in creating a better future in the name of healthcare.